Mohammad Umar Farooq biological video. Please make sure to subscribe, like and share. Ask the question for answer and comment about the artwork. You can also answer question to each other for solving the problem. So here today we will discuss about the plant science, which that is the coniferal structure and reproduction. So we will focus on the reproduction just, but we will understand a little bit about the structure. So previous video I had described the structure, but here we will discuss the reproduction. So just understand the structure of the coniferals. So the conifer is the gymnosperms. Gymno means their seed is naked, not contain a fruit. So that is the here is the plant of conifers, which that huge tree and 400 feet long and gymnosperm. That is the family gymnosperm and use as timber and use as a lumber, and that their wood is very useful. While here is the cone, which that is cone shed into the soil and reproduce again that plant. We will discuss how in this video, and we will also discuss the reproduction. So let's talk about the stem, which contain cones. So the a male and female cone are present in the same plant. So while the cross fertilization is also occur. So basically here is the stem, which that is contain a spur stem, and that is the spur, and leaves is needle like is known as the foliage leaves. So here is the first year male cone, which that is produced, and after the 1 year to next year it will be mature. So the 3 year is required for the maturation of the male cone, and that is here is the third year, which contain a male cone, while the female cone is the larger as compared to the male cone. So the female cone is contain a megasporangium, while the male cone is the microsporangium, and it is contain a microsporophyll, which that is the structure to produce the microspore, and megasporophyll produce the megaspore. So let's here we will discuss about the female cone, which that we will cross section of the female cone is here, and that here is the bracket, and here is the ovuliferous scale, which that scale is attached with the egg. So you can see in this diagram. So here is the main axis. So that is the main axis, which that is attached the bracket and attach the apophysis, which that is basically ovuliferous scale. So it is a multiple egg are present in the same cone. So it means it is used for the fertilization. So here is the egg, and here is the apical part for new development and scales for female reproduction, the female part. So here is the zooming out to understand that structure. So here is the egg. Egg is the female reproductive cell. It is produced after the meiosis and remain 1N haploid from diploid. So here is the micropyle. Micropyle is the region which contain a basically it is used for the invagination of the microspore. So that here is a megasporangium. So the integument is also present. So the pollen chamber is present, and basically is the bracket and nucellus is present. We will discuss in next. So here is the male cone. So the male cone contain basically here is the multiple male cone are present, which that is attached in the stem. So the cross section of the male cone is show the significance of their structure. So the male cone is also known as the microsporophyll, and this microsporophyll produce the microsporangia. So this microsporangium is the single is the microsporangium, while the plural is the microsporangia. So this microsporangia contain a microspore. So that is the axis of cone. So this is the male cone, that is the gymnospermic cone of the male. So the gymnosperm is the pinus is the major example of this class, this family. So the naked seed is present and not fruit, basically. So here is the microspore. So the microspore contain a microspore mother cell inside. So this microspore mother cell is surrounded by the tapetum. So the tapetum is important. So here is basically 2n, and basically tapetum is used for the tapetum is the outer layer of the spores inside provide the nutrition to divide the microspore into the tetrads. So it means the 4 number of cell will be produced after the first division, two division. So we will also discuss about the development of the microspore. So here we will discuss just that is the tapetum is give the nutrition to the microspore, and microspore will be divide. That is microspore is the mother cell, that is the precursor of male gamete. So the male gamete precursor is this. So it is divide of the cell meiosis occur, and that is produce 1n. It means the number of chromosomes will remain half in the next division. So the tetrad will be formed, and here I am drawing the 3 nuclei, but it is tetrad, and the fourth one I can't draw because it is the cross section. You should understand about that. So here we will discuss about the further development to produce wing of each nuclei and haploid nucleus. So basically haploid nucleus contain a wings. So after the development in this case, that is produce the male gamete. So the male gamete is used for the floating in the air, and it can move. That is the pollen like structure, and that is basically move and used as a basically pollen. So this is known as a pollen. Basically nucleus and exine and tine are present, and here is the inside is the haploid nuclei. And wings is used for wing, it also known as the air bladder. It is used for the floating into the air, and the particular region for the megasporangium to attach from inside to the micropyle and move inside. So the micropyle contain a chemoattractant, which that is attract the pollen, male gamete. So it means it is used for the movement, while the megasporangium in the case of female reproductive cone is immotile. It means the motility or movement is of the male gamete is occur, but the female is not. So here the female gametes are present. Basically I am drawing in the structure, and here the neck cell and egg are present, and egg is surrounded by the jacket. So egg is surrounded by the jacket, and ovuliferous scale are present, and here is the scale, and that is the female gamete. It is also known as the megasporangium. Megasporangium mean it is the mega mean the bigger as compared to the male reproductive structure, male reproductive gametes. So here is the nuclear beak. So this nuclear beak is present, while here is the nucleus, and here is the pollen tube. Pollen tube is used for the fertilization for and here is the archegonium, and pollen tube is the receptive spot is also present. It is known as the chemical is known as the chemoattractant, which that attracts the pollen or male gamete. So the micropyle and integument are present in the form of red color, while here is the prothallus female. So these prothallus female are present in this region. So the pinus, basically female megasporophyll, contain a prothallus with multiple archegonium. So the prothallus contain a multiple archegonium. Archegonium is the female reproductive organ. So the male reproductive organ is known as antheridia, but here is not antheridia, but basically male gamete, which that's come from the male cone. So here is the receptive region where the basically pollen attractant are present, and attach that particular region in the pollen tube upper part, and basically this upper part is basically known as the uh, basically nucleus are present and pollen chamber are present. Where the pollen chamber is present, these wing containing male gamete will be attached from here, and after this attachment there are many changes will be occur for the movement inside. So that means it is the uh, basically it is movement by the movement of this gamete. So here is the megaspore, which that contain a prothelial cell and stack cell, which that is divided during the movement inside from the pollen tube. So here is the orange color shows that the orange color shows that the basically pollen chamber, which that is used for the movement, and that's made up of chemical. So it is sticky and here is the development of the male gamete when go into the pollen chamber and move into the pollen tube by this mechanism. So here is the basically nucleus. So this is haploid. So the first prothelial cell will be formed after the first division. So this is the mitotic division which produce the prothelial cell and antheridial cell. So the antheridial is a basically male uh, recognize the male recognition of the male gamete, while the first prothelial cell is used for the extra cell we will discuss also. So the first prothelial cell and second prothelial cell will be formed after the second division, and the antheridial cell will be remain same. So it means the next phase that is the development, which that is create the tube nucleus. So this is the tube nucleus. So this tube nucleus will be formed. This tube nucleus and blue color shows that the body cell, while the stack cell is also present. So this tube nucleus is create the pollen tube elongation. So that means it is used for the basically callus formation will be occur, and that is the tube nucleus will be move forward, and that means the body cell and antheridial cell will be move also. So it means the basically the stack cell remain upward and create a more and more movement to create a pollen tube. So here you can say that the body cell and here the tube nucleus, and that is the stack cell, which that is further go, and that means the production increasing of the pollen tube will be occur. So after the increasing of the pollen tube, the male gamete is forward. So the two male gametes are present for fertilization of the two archegonia. One is the fertilization, while the one is the use for another mechanism to development and nourishment. So the here is the basically you can say that the male gamete, and here is the tube nucleus, stack nucleus are present, that is present, and which go into the female gamete. So the one is attached fertilized male gamete with the egg, and one is the left behind. So the one is basically is not useful. So the next phase here is the archegonium, which that is after the two cell division, which that under the mitosis, that is the diploid cell division will be occur, and tetrads will be formed. This tetrad is basically produce more and more cell, and this more cell is the basically tetrads are four cell containing anterior part is known as the embryo initial. So this embryo initial is used for the initiation and move forward due to the elongation and division of the initial cell. So the suspensor initial is the blue color shown in the figure. So you can see that is the blue color shows that is the used for the elongation and division, and suspensor initial are present, and this suspensor initial is used for the division and compress more into the archegonium, while the embryo initial is the green color shows that it is push and corrosion cavity will be formed. This corrosion cavity is due to the enzymatical activity which that is produced, and this is the production, and it means there are many basically archegonium which that develop and zygote formation to develop um, more uh, more archegonium development and more embryo formation. So there are many embryo will be formed, but the one will be select and other will be degrade. So it means the competition will begin, and that embryo use more nutrients which that is adaptable, and it will be reproduce again after the seed germination. So here is the secondary suspensor are present, and here is the suspensor, and basically here end of the tip is the basically apical tip is embryo initial. So here is the there are many cotyledons will be formed. So why this there are many cotyledons will be formed? Because their embryo initial will be formed. So there are many layers of the suspensor initial which that is become a cotyledons. So that means here is the single cotyledons is here. Single cotyledons contain many cells. So I hope you make sense about that. So we will discuss about the seed germination. After all, this mechanism, first of all, we will discuss that, and this is the production of the basically cotyledon. It is produced when cone will be shed off. So the after fertilization, the cone will be shedding from the plant, and that's uh, grow into the soil. So that here is the cotyledon. So these cotyledons contain many cotyledons which contain a seed. So this seed is the outer protective layer while there is no fruit. So that is why it is naked and it is known as the gymnosperm. So the number A, and here is the hypocotyle are present, and this hypocotyle and epicotyle is basically present. That is the hypocotyle is below the epicotyle. So the epicotyle is the upper part, and there are many cotyledons will be formed, and that is the future. And between the cotyledons the shoot system will be arise, while the basically here is the root will be arise from the back side of the cotyledon. So you can see that, you can watch in this diagram. So anyhow, this is the coniferous structure. It is known as the gymnosperm, and that is the reproduction. And next video we will discuss about the angiospermic lifestyle. So angio means the hidden seed. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe the channel and suggestion.